tonight. Darrin's podcast magic, your guiding light.
This is Darrin L. Harris with Amplify with Darrin L. Harris. And I just wanted to come and just say to each and every one of you who have been tuning in and downloading some of our podcasts, and we haven't even started. So I just wanted to remind you that our launch is on October 3rd, Friday, October 3rd. And so that's our actual launch date where we're going to have a full podcast. We're going to have a full podcast. It's going to be a full show, and it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. But in the meantime, in between time, yes, continue to reach out to us, continue to download, and you can go straight to our website, which is Amplify DLH, and that's Delta Lima Mike.com. So you can go to amplifydlh.com and you can listen to all of the downloads right there. You don't even have to go that far. So you don't have to do a lot of searching. But if you already have, of course, Apple Podcasts, whether you have Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, I mean, we're on all of those platforms. So you can catch us on any of those platforms and hear, of course, some of the trailers that we already have out. And then, of course, we put some information out there already. But once again, October 3rd, Friday, October 3rd is our actual launch date where we're going to have our first inaugural show. So I just wanted to put that out there and say, once again, thank you, because I see you guys, you're downloading, the data is coming in. And one thing I know about the data is that the data doesn't lie. And so I know that you're out there. I know you guys are promoting. So I just wanted to come really quickly to say thank you for all of your support, all of your love, and let's keep going. Let's keep amplifying, because remember, silence is not an option. And I'm ready to start this podcast. There's a lot on my mind and there is a lot that I want to talk about, and I'm ready to talk about, but we're going to stay true to our launch date of October 3rd, Friday, October 3rd, where we're going to have our first inaugural show. So we're going to be talking about a whole lot of things, but once again, we really are going to be focusing on things around communication, because it's really important in this day and time that individuals identify and find their authentic voice. Now, it's one thing just to find it, but it's not enough to find it. But, we're going to have to go above and beyond. We're going to have to use that voice in order to make a difference, in order to make an impact. That's why we're here. We're here because we're here to be leaders. We're here to be influencers. Why? Because leadership is about influence. Nothing more, nothing less. And everything rises and falls because of leadership. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you to discover your voice, to enhance your voice, and to utilize it for the good, right? This is where we come right here on Amplify with Darrin L. Harris to be those leaders, to be those social entrepreneurs, to be the voice for the voiceless. And that's what we're going to do right here on Amplify with Darrin L. Harris. Look, that's what we're here to do. I can't stress it enough. I'm here to help individuals who are seeking to increase their influence so that they can build high-performing, high-impacting, and sustainable organizations. I'm here for you. I'm here for individuals who want to enhance their voice. I'm here for individuals who want to find out ways to amplify their voice. That's why we're here. And so once again, thank you for tuning in. This is Darrin L. Harris, and I will be your host. But while I'm here, somebody said, while I'm here, I always have something to say, always have something to talk about. And so just today, I'm very observant, right? I'm very observant. And today, as I was leaving school, I was ear hustling, right? I overheard a conversation. I mean, they were talking loud enough. And so I heard this conversation, and a part of the conversation was really around getting feedback. And so this was a student, and they were asking the professor, and by the way, it's none of my professors. Come on, let's keep those A's going. So I'm not talking about y'all, but it was a professor. I don't even know who this professor was, but I know that the student was asking about getting feedback. And what was interesting in that particular conversation around that feedback, I mean, that professor just went right, he just cut to the chase and got right to it. Now, for some people, that's a very effective strategy. For some people, that's a lot to manage. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about here on Amplify with Darrin L. Harris, of course, is around communication and being able to provide individuals with feedback about any situation is really important to have great communication skills. Because the first thing, you have to do is you have to listen to what that person is saying or what they've done. You have to be able to listen to that person. So once you do that and they ask you for feedback, because a lot of folk, you want to give your feedback, give your advice. Ain't nobody ask you nothing. Anybody like that? Ain't nobody ask you nothing. So be careful that if they ain't ask you, don't volunteer. But I'm talking about in a situation where someone is coming to you and they respect your guidance, they respect your leadership, they respect your opinion, then we owe it to them, right, to give honest feedback, honest and fair feedback. And so there are ways to do that. And the first thing I would recommend, the first thing that I would suggest that you do is always start off with the positive. Like if you're going to give feedback, if you're going to give information to someone and they've asked you to provide feedback or to evaluate them, then always start with the positive. Talk about what they did well. That's really important, because if you just go right into what they did wrong, you're going to lose them. If you talk about what you didn't like, you're going to lose them. If you talk about what you would have done differently or better, you're going to lose them. So the first thing that you want to do is talk about what they did well. That's really important. Just simply tell them what they did well. Now, once you tell them what they did well, it's going to be really important that you back up what you just told them. Don't just say, oh, you did really well. Back it up. In other words, back that thing up. You got to back it up. And so if you're providing feedback, and I'll give an example at the end, if you're providing feedback, back it up. Tell them exactly what they did right, what worked. That's really important. So once you, of course, provide that feedback, you back that thing up, then the third thing that I would recommend you do before you go and giving your feedback and giving your criticism is ask for permission. After you say, here's what I think worked really well for you, but is it okay if I share with you what I would have done differently? See, that lets the guards down, right? I'm asking your permission if it's okay for me to share what I would have done differently. Not what you did wrong, but what I would have done differently. And in the midst of saying what you would have done differently, they'll hear what suggestion that you're making. It's really important that you do that. So do I have your permission? Can I love on you hard? That's the way I usually say it. Can I love on you hard? Because they know it's coming. If you ask me for feedback, it's going to be some tough love. So can I love on you hard? And so once you get their permission, the guards are down. They're open. They're receptive. They're ready to receive your guidance, your leadership, your voice. They're ready. And so then you can talk about, well, when you first opened up your presentation, I would have done a big opener, because usually when I do presentations, I find that's the most effective way to get people's attention. And usually with my big openers, I cause tension. And here's why. Tension makes people pay attention. So that's what I would have done differently. Think about it. See, I said to them what I thought they did well. I backed it up, and then I asked for permission. And then I also shared with them, here's what I would have done differently, and here's why. Very important that you do that. So if you're going to be effective at giving feedback, just try it. Just try it. I'm just putting something on your shoulder so you keep it on your mind. Just try it and see if it works out for you. And somebody's going to need this. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm talking to somebody. Somebody's going to need this, and you're going to need it real soon. So you can always come back to this podcast, Amplify with Darrin L. Harris, and you can hear how to give effective feedback. So here we are, someone's asked for feedback. We given them positive review. We've backed it up. We talked about what we would have done differently, and that's where we provide the criticism after asking permission. And then we're going to come back and say, you know what? But here's once again what you did really well, because I've seen you do presentations before. And what I can tell that you did really well this time is that you practice. I don't know what you're doing, but it seems like every time that you do a presentation, you're getting better at it and better at it. You're getting more comfortable with standing up before people. If you don't mind, can you tell me, what are you doing differently? What's making that happen? You see what I'm doing? I'm drawing them in. And this is very honest. You got to be authentic. You can't be fake with this too. It doesn't work if you're being dishonest. It doesn't work if you're being fake. Okay, this is you got to be real with it. Somebody say I got to be real with this thing. So you got to be real. So if you're gonna be fake, you're gonna be phony. Don't even participate in this process. This not for you. You go to another podcast. I'm talking about people who want to be authentic and who are trying to find their authentic voice and enhance their authentic voice, so that we can be the influencers that we've been called to be. And so you got to be real. You got to be authentic. This ain't about fake and phony right here. Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. All right. So, you've given that feedback, but not only that, towards the end, you are reinforcing what they did well. You're reinforcing, giving them more positive feedback. And so who do you think is going to always come to you for feedback, for evaluation, for advice? Exactly. Someone who is going to be honest, someone who's going to be authentic, and someone who's going to tell the truth and keep it real, And so that's what true leadership is about. That's what authentic leadership is about. That is what authentic voice is about. And that's exactly what Amplify is about. So I just wanted to share that with you because I overheard that conversation. I said it would be great if I did a mini podcast and just came on and talk about, giving feedback to individuals. Now, I don't know what happened with that conversation because I wasn't going to stay in the hallway and keep ear hustling, but I heard enough. I heard enough to come on to say, you know what, let me get to our Amplify podcast community and share this because somebody else is probably going to have this challenge this week. They're probably going to have this challenge today, and providing feedback is really important. So I just wanted to come very briefly and share that with you. Once again, my name is Darrin L. Harris, and you've been listening to Amplify with Darrin L. Harris, where silence is not an option. Y'all keep doing what you're doing.